August Roofing, and Chris always enjoy when you're around when you're with me. Yeah, get up close and personal. It's okay.
Yes, huh?
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you when you came in, is there such thing as a 200-mile-an-hour roof tile?
Well, yeah, as it flies through the air at 200 miles an hour, there's a 200-mile tile.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're referring
Florida,
to
yeah.
Florida. Yeah, yeah. They have a completely different tile installation manual for Florida.
Really?
Yeah, because
Wait, is it built different? Or I guess the materials
installed
different,
different,
or
or
is it just
it's
installed?
installation. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I would imagine with that kind of wind, you only have to grab one loose one.
Yeah. Well, most of the actual tearing off of roofing materials actually happens at the eaves. Because what happens is the wind, it's like the airfoil on an airplane, right?
Right.
And that's what sucks a plane up, right?
Right.
Is that the wind goes over. So same thing happens on a roof. Wind comes over the eave of your roof and it actually sucks the tile off the roof.
Wow.
So there's really action, it's not like blown off, it's like sucked off.
Wow.
And then once it starts, then it's all downhill.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough at that point there. And then with all the water damage that's done, I mean, you probably have to really, to do it right, you would have to do the whole roof over again to make it work right.
Yeah. Depending on how much rain got and exposed plywood or something, yeah.
So talking to my brother over the weekend, and he just did a new roof on it. He lives in Massachusetts, and he said they were sheets of metal. They weren't tiles that they laid on the roof. You
So
familiar
probably
with
a
that?
standing seam roof, sheet metal roof.
Something like that, yeah.
They're becoming real popular again in Florida for hail situation. It can
Oh,
stand
okay.
up to hail and stuff like that. Yeah.
Is there any upside to using something like that here in California?
They've tried, but there's not a lot. It hasn't caught on. It is quite pricey. So
Is it?
Yeah, it is more expensive than your
To try to
tile roof.
combat our 2-3 mile an hour gusts
Yeah,
of
there you go.
winds
You got to
here.
make sure you're right. No, because I always wonder again with the rapid change in heat and cooling, that's got to have an effect, especially on a roof. You know, and how the tiles stay and what happens to the stuff under the tiles, and you know, we've all learned about temperature expanding and contracting, and again, I just can't imagine the kind of damage that causes. Even underneath the roof, where you're not even seeing most of that
Right,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, heat is a big killer of your underlayments. So,
Now you do, you know, part of your business is solar panels, obviously,
Correct.
and you do that on the roofs, right? Yes. Do you do installation if there's a big enough piece of property? Is there any suggestion, or do you do installation of that stuff off the roof?
we call it a ground mount, and we've done quite a few of them.
Yeah. And
Person has the land.
do you find that you can do more of them or that way as opposed to?
No, you know, again, it comes down to, we talked a number of times, it's all the calculations, right?
Yep.
What you have available, how the panels can face, how many you can put there, all that kind of thing. Ground mount, sometimes the like if you got a trench through the ground a long way, it can be costly. So it might be better to put it on your roof, because we just got to drop a line down to your main service panel. So, you know, the people that we did it for, you know, when you have a larger piece of property in California, you're on the more well-off side. So those people are more about the aesthetics, and they're like, I don't want to see panels on my roof. Plus, you know, they have $12,000 a month electric bills, and you know, they needed 140 panels to
Oh boy.
balance it off.
Well, my bill was $150 cheaper last month.
Oh hey, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It was down to $540. It was good. So, which is still almost double what it usually is.
Oh boy.
So, and we're going to be working. I've got to get a hold of Armand, and we're going to be working on our bills and see
Yes.
what we can do there as well. So, and then that way there I can say, hey, I use these guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of my neighbors keep telling me, hey, I use those guys. Those are good guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Well, one of the things that I like about Chris and August Roofing is kind of the honesty of it, the honest approach of like, I'm not just gonna sell you something because you know it's the most expensive thing and you you don't really need it, kind of a thing.
Right.
But I'm wondering, for those who are inexperienced with roofs or even solar panels, what are some of the red flags people should look out for when it comes to hiring someone, or maybe they're already there on the job and they're just unsure if they're doing a good
Or
job?
something that might say that your spider senses need to go
Yeah,
up and go,
yeah.
wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
There's no carburetor on my roof.
Yeah, carburetor.
Flux capacitors, nah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big proponent of referrals. Talk to somebody who's gone through the experience, right? Getting a roof is a big thing. It's like, especially if you had solar, it's like a construction project, right? So you got to make sure that somebody's going to go all the way, do all the way through, right? And then, professionalism of proposal. Read the proposal. Does it have everything that's in there? Talk to whoever's proposing the roof to you, and go through and make sure that everything is written down. Because neighbors make good fences make good neighbors, right? Mm-hmm. Right, and contracts make good relationships with your contractor.
All right, so make sure that there's everything's in writing.
Yep.
And
Yes, that's true. Well, he's right, though. I mean, the referrals work two ways. One is if I'm referred to you, then by somebody I trust,
Right.
I know I can trust you. And if you know the person who has referred me, you can be assured that I'm just not a whack, wanting my roof up there and then trying to beat you for half the price of the roof.
now
Right.
you're talking about construction here. Is there any permits and things that need to be pulled and all that kind of stuff for stuff? And is that something you guys take care of? How does that all work out?
Yeah, roof and solar require permits. Solar is much more extensive than a roofing permit. Roofing permits usually can go down, get them the next day, and then there is most cities have a mid-inspection after you tear off the roof. You need to get a deck inspection to make sure that that deck is in good shape, and then you can cover and reinstall, and then there's a final inspection. And then solar, it's a little bit more involved. You have to get literally a set of plans drawn up. How are you going to connect it to the main service panel? Where is main service panel? It's about a 10 or 12 page set of plans. Then you got to get it approved by your utility and the city. And those can take more. Like some cities, like LA, sometimes we can spend, a couple of months, 3 months trying to get a permit.
Oh, wow.
Just to do a pretty straightforward solar position. And yes, that's something we take care of 100%. We're 100%. I like to say the only two things you got to do is sign a contract and sign a check. And everything else in the middle we'll take care of.
All right. Yeah. Well, the check's got to clear too.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Or nowadays,
That's
you
what I was
can
gonna make sure.
Zealot or
So it truly is
Oh,
a
God,
big
stop.
project. There's it's not just workers come in, they start the work. There is a whole process to this, and of course you want to make sure that you go with the professionals that know what they're doing. August Roofing, this isn't their first rodeo, and it's definitely not going to be their last. So call them up. Chris, how do we get a hold of you, August Roofing?
The best is augustroofing.com. You'll fill out a form on the web, and we'll get Armand out there. Armand to give you a call, set up one of our project consultants, assess your situation, and give you a solution.
And if you don't know how to spell August, just go to the calendar.
Yeah.
Before September, after July. So, Chris, always a pleasure to have you in the studio with us. Really.
Great being here.